What's up, vinyl community? It's Jason coming at you from the Jazz Basement with another recent finds video. Hope you're having a wonderful night or day wherever you're watching this. This is a fairly late night. It's about midnight here in DC in the Jazz Basement. And just wanted to share some recent acquisitions that I've come across. And let's get started. First off is this masterpiece, Blowing the Blues Away by the Horace Silver Quintet and Trio. This is an original mono press. It's from the 4000 series, 4017, excuse me. Beautiful micro groove long playing. It's got the 47 West 63rd label. It's got the ear, avant-garde, everything about it. Beautiful album. Horace Silver needs no introduction. He is a phenomenal player of the piano. This album is one of my favorites. You really can't go wrong with Horace Silver, in my view. He was a longtime member of the Jazz Messengers, that's Art Blakey's group, and has been featured on a lot of different albums. His own work is definitely worth pursuing. His most famous would be Song for My Father, which is an absolutely essential recording record that you need in your collection. This one I think is slept on a little bit more, Blowing the Blues Away. I love it. It's one of my favorites of his. And this was actually an upgrade copy. So I was walking with my wife. It was on our anniversary. We were going to dinner. We happened to walk past a record store. I gave her the look. She just rolled her eyes and said 5 minutes. So rolled into the record store and saw this. It was a really good price. I had a copy. This was an upgrade for me. This is in near mint condition. Couldn't say no to that. So bought this one, put the old one in the hands of a good friend. Hope he's enjoying it thoroughly. But this is one. Horace Silver is an artist that if you walk into any record store, you're going to find a Horace Silver record. You're going to find a Jimmy Smith record or multiple Jimmy Smith records. You're going to find some Horace Silver. And if you come across this one, I highly recommend it. It's not going to set you back a ton of money. It is just a wonderful listen. You can totally get into it. It's great for late nights, and it's one I don't hear talked about a lot, and I think it deserves a lot more credit than it gets. But Blowing the Blues Away, put your feelers out for it. The next couple of records I got at a shop that is in Hyattsville, Maryland. It's called Red Onion Records. The proprietor's name is Josh. I've mentioned the shop before. And this kind of highlights the importance of building relationship with a brick and mortar store. I've gotten a lot of really great records, a lot of really great jazz records, but also non-jazz records. I've mentioned I'm a big fan of Fish. I've gotten some original presses from his personal collection that he sold me because we've built a really good relationship. So the next couple are from his shop. This first one, he had texted me a picture and said, "Hey, this is something that's in your wheelhouse." And I don't know if it's in my wheelhouse per se. It's a difficult album, but it's one that I've been very interested in exploring. And it's this one, Unit Structures by Cecil Taylor. Now, this is one of his more accessible works. I would not call it the most easygoing listening experience. This is a difficult listening. You've really got to pay attention to it. This is a Liberty Press. It's an original stereo copy. Pretty great stuff. Very interesting kind of avant-garde sound. The liner notes on the back are really interesting. I won't read it to you, but it looks like a dissertation on math. I I'm a math guy myself. I have a master's degree in math, so I kind of get it. But um, Cecil Taylor was just a big piano player and very much into composing and really exploring kind of the more avant-garde style, and that's what this is all about. Again, not an easy listen. Didn't break the bank, not the end of the world, um, but was one that I've seen kicked around. If you look on online, say what are the some jazz albums that you should own, you'll get a lot of different a lot of different standards. But then every now and again, you'll see one that kind of throws you for the loop. And I've seen this in a couple different lists, and it's sort of in that avant-garde space. I think this came out in the mid '60s, maybe 1966 or 1967, and it's not free jazz. It's sort of like what possibly could have launched free jazz, maybe. I don't know. Um, Definitely requires some thought and some thinking. Um, Maybe worth a stream. You don't see it very often, so I had to jump on that one. The next one is you might see this one a little bit more. This is Eric Dolphy, Outward Bound. Dolphy very much in that kind of avant-garde, um, borderline free jazz. He was a super talented musician. This one is probably his second most well known after Out to Lunch, but pretty excellent. It's a Prestige. It's actually on a gold label, so I've never seen that before. So probably late '60s press, but again, more on the freer jazz side of things. So also not the most accessible, or certainly not the one that you necessarily would want to put on for a late night spin, but definitely worthwhile. The next two I'm very excited about. Again, was at Red Onion, found this one. This is a must own. Point of Departure by Andrew Hill. This is his most famous work. He put out a series of stuff as a band leader. Um, Kenny Dorham, Eric Dolphy, Joe Henderson, Richard Davis, and Tony Williams. Pretty killer stuff. This is a later press. This is from 1977, so it's got the white B. And why I picked this one up, this was pressed at All Disc, so that was one of the primary Liberty pressing plants at the time. Really high quality pressing plant, and it also has the Van Gelder mastering on it. So if I look at some of these Liberties, the blue label, black B, white B, if I see the Van Gelder stamp, I'll usually buy them if they're clean. This is near mint. I don't think it's been played, um, but the music's pretty good. Again, more kind of avant-garde, not quite free jazz, but avant-garde. But there's some really great soloing on this. Dolphy's playing is great. Kenny Dorham, a little bit more traditional, and then Joe Henderson. Can't go wrong with Joe Henderson. So, Point of Departure, Andrew Hill. Keep an eye out for this one. Definitely worth a look. Um, that was all from Red Onion. The next one was from a store that is a little bit outside of DC. I don't go there very often, but occasionally I'll swing through, and it's an area where jazz doesn't necessarily get trafficked all that much, but they do drop some heat from time to time, and it just kind of sits there. So this is one I was really happy to find. Joe Henderson, In and Out. Is it my favorite Joe Henderson album? No, that would be Inner Urge, um, or Mode for Joe. But this is certainly a solid effort. You've got Kenny Dorham, Richard Davis, and Elvin Jones filling out the lineup here. This is a Liberty Press. They actually had it listed as an original, and the original would have had the Plastilite ear. And the shop owner didn't know that much about it, so I, pointed him to my YouTube video on identifying original Blue Notes. But he was really great. Adjusted the price. It's in really great shape. Got a pretty good deal on this. And my view, Joe Henderson, you can't go wrong with anything Joe Henderson. If you see something, just pick it up. Um, I don't have a lot of his milestone. Actually, I don't have any of his milestone work. That's also really good. But Joe Henderson Blue Notes cannot go wrong, either as a band leader or, as you've seen with some of the other records, he plays as a sideman. But right up there, in my view, with Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, just phenomenal, phenomenal playing. So really excited for this one, and pretty iconic cover work, as you can see. Great job by Reed Miles on that. So that's it for today. Kind of a mix of stuff. Again, a little bit more avant-garde, a little bit more borderline free jazz stuff relative to kind of my lane, which would be hard bop. But you know, you've got to try new things and explore boundaries and see what sticks. So, hope you have a good night. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.